The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another House of Stein Hot 10. Little late tonight, but that's because Stein has been going through hell. He has been dealing with car troubles, nothing that we ever want to have to deal with.
Yeah, so my advice, and this is, I'm now taking my own advice. Never buy a Nissan, because my wife's car was it's a 2022 and the engine is blown.
Oh man.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys let us know if the sound sounds okay tonight. There's been some changes made with one of my programs and I'm trying to figure it out. So just heads up. Yeah, that's a bummer, dude. That is a bummer. It's not as bad as my problem. My problem is I have a working car that works fine, but the front doors won't open, bro.
Still, hold on, you still have that?
I still have that, and now both front doors won't open. It used to be just the driver's side couldn't open, and now both front doors don't open.
So you are a modern day Duke of Hazzard.
I am, bro, and I'm not even trying that. Not even close.
How do you get in and out?
I don't. It's just sitting there right now.
I'm sitting there picturing this, because if you guys have never met Bryan before, I'm pretty tall. I'm 6 foot, and Bryan is much taller than me. Yeah, he's not going Dukes of Hazzard. There ain't no chance.
Not at 300 pounds as well. So. So I feel your pain, Stein. I am currently saving up money to get a new car as well. Man, it is a struggle. So that being said, make sure you guys like and subscribe to help support the channel so we can both get new cars.
Hey, I'll say, so I'm just going to stick with trucks, because my truck has got, it's got like 130,000 miles on it, and it's running fine. So I'll just stick with trucks from now on.
I'm with you. I think that's going to be, I'm done getting cars because I'm getting to that age where it sucks to bend down to get in and out of the car. You know what I mean? My knees are starting to, so I want to get into something where I can just get in it, and not have to get down. So we'll see how it plays out. But, Stein Packs 12 went very well. Congratulations to everybody that joined in on that. Shout out to our boy Paul, who is still recovering, I believe, as of right now. So thoughts and prayers go out to him. And thanks to everybody that joined in on that and being part of that. That was awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Oh, yeah. All right. We are late into the night. So we are going to rock through this, try and get this done a little quickly for you guys so you don't have to be up all night. And let's get into it with
mostly so we don't have to be up. So we don't have to be up all night.
You got it. You got it. All right, here we go. The Almost 10. Starting off with a book, an IP that we have been talking about pretty regularly on both channels as of late, and that is Transformers. I feel like just Transformers has been such a fun IP to talk about currently. All this, more people are looking into the older Transformers stuff and some of the rarer stuff, starting to get some love, and this is a rare one for sure. Transformers Animated, the complete Allspark Almanac, which is a trade paperback from IDW in 2015, and it had a monster raw sale.
Yeah, so this has like I think the back cover says it has like a $40 cover price or something like that. And it sold for $650 this week. I think it's oversized. And looking at it, it looks oversized, but um, I hope somebody out there's got this, because man, that is a lot of money for TPB.
Yeah, right. And it's the rare animated stuff. They did do a 4-issue series of this, I believe, obviously, because it does, it is a trade paperback. So I wonder what some of the single issues of this go for.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Transformers fans are crazy. Transformers and G.I. Joe fans are rabid for their IP love, whether it's toys, merchandise, comics, whatever. And I'm one of those people. So I'm sure there's a lot of people just like that in the chat. So welcome. And hopefully you guys have these. So as Brad Selden says, trans fans. Moving on. Excuse me. Rare Barks. The Rare Barks. This is really absolutely why I love looking at crazy things that pop up for sale on eBay. This one is very weird. Like, probably one of those things that nobody would know about unless they saw a sale or found one somewhere. This was self-printed, or not self-printed. I don't know. It's an unknown publisher from what it sounds like. And it was published in 1975. And it crazy part about it is it has rare unpublished Carl Barks stuff. Now, when I say unpublished, that doesn't mean that they weren't published anywhere, because there was some places where this stuff was published. And as you can see, it says some of the work by, quote, the Duckman artist Carl Barks is extremely rare. This volume contains 2 stories that were in fact never published, Milkman's Story and A Christmas Carol, and 2 other stories that only exist in comic books that are almost impossible to find. Donald Duck Tells About Kites and Mickey Mouse in the Riddle of the Red Hat. And it gets even crazier. So here's the interior. You can see it's old, just reprinted comic book works. But there's even more. Like, this is the type of stuff that I love. So neither has A Christmas Carol, originally scheduled for a 1945 issue of Walt Disney Comics and Stories number 64, that hasn't been published. The story was rejected by the publisher for being sacrilegious and un-Disney. The first half page, the splash page of this, seems to be lost. Donald Duck Tells About Kites appeared in a coverless 8-page giveaway comic in 1954. 3 nearly identical versions exist from Pacific Gas and Electric, Southern California Edison, and Florida Power and Light. The giveaway is known to exist in only about 30 copies and is consequently the scarcest one of all Barks comics and has never been reprinted. Mickey Mouse in the Riddle of the Red Hat appeared in 4-color comic number 79 in 1945 and is the only Mickey and Goofy story by Carl Barks. Like Kites, it has never been reprinted. The 1-page Donald Tente has been published in French but never in English. One guesses that the page was intended for an Uncle Scrooge comic in 1957, but the publisher ran an ad instead. How crazy is this stuff, dude?
That is bizarre. Of course, now they've thrown down the gauntlet that it's never been reprinted, and the publishers will be like, ooh, let's reprint it now.
I don't know with Disney stuff, bro. Disney stuff's the one thing where I think to myself, it might never be reprinted. But you could be right, because Carl Barks has become so beloved that it's almost like he's held above to like a higher level than just a comic creator. He's like a real writer and a real artist at this point in what he has done. And I hope it gets reprinted at some point. But man, I would love to get those old school, gas and power issues, and find that French one, or just to have that stuff. And I've been talking about this for a while because it's hard to actually do because they're expensive and hard to find, but I would love to start collecting Carl Barks stuff.
Oh, for sure. I really am.
Cool.
I'm curious though, what would make that story un-Disney and sacrilegious? I wonder what he put in there that did that.
That's a great question. We're gonna have to look into that. I wanna do a thing where we watch the Carl Barks documentary and like all kind of talk about it on a show at one time, because that is such a good little like 20-minute documentary on YouTube that this one guy did. Fascinating about his life and his story, and everything that he did for not only Disney and Duck fans, but also for comics and illustration and storytelling. So, but this sold for a shit ton for this, and I feel like it probably could have gone for more considering how crazy it sounds.
I know. It's sold for 800, and like you don't know if that's good or not, because this thing is like unlicensed, you don't know if it's even like real, right? It could just be somebody just made something up and at their printer in the back room. You don't know. So I guess that maybe that's why it was, I don't even know if like CGC would grade something like this.
Wow. Real fake. Maybe that's sacrilegious. I would freaking, I'm not going to say it, but it would be kind of crazy if somebody was just printing these off in their basement.
I wouldn't put it past somebody to do it.
I know. Totally, dude. All right, here we go. Moving on. This one's crazy. I've never seen this one. X-Men Gold issue 30, the second print from Marvel in 2018. This surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah. First of all, it's a really good, it's really good cover art.
David Marquez. Yeah, killed it.
Yeah, it's really good. Man, $65 for this book. Wow.
And is it just a reprint of the original stuff with a different cover?
Of the X-Men 30 or the Gold 30?
Of Jean and Scott's wedding, because that's who it is, right? It's Jean and Scott. Maybe it's Rogue and Gambit. I don't know who that is. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I guess. I think it's its own issue. X-Men Gold 30.
Well, what I mean by that is, I don't remember this Rogue and Gambit getting married, so the only thing I can think of is that it reminds me of the Jean and Scott wedding back in the day. Remember that issue? Which is a cover kind of like this. It's a wraparound cover, and I just figured that it was a reprint of that issue with maybe like new stuff or something, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong.
Norpsey says that Rogue and Gambit are just dropped on Marvel Rivals.
Yes, they did.
So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah. That's cool. But $65 raw. There you go. All right. Next. Classic Wally Wood right here. Malice in Wonderland, issue number 1 from Fantagraphics in 1993. And I remember this big time. Like, this came out when I was like going to the comic shop on a regular basis. And I remember seeing it and hearing about it pretty heavy. I'm thinking to myself, that's kind of weird. A naked lady with a naked Alice with an Alice in Wonderland. What's going on here? And classic Wally Wood craziness. There you go.
Maybe it's just me, but the creature that's up in the tree, it looks like the Simpsons dog to me. I don't know why, but
yeah, it does.
Yeah. So this one sold a CGC 9A sold for $830 which is, I think, is either only the first or second CGC 9.8 of this
Wow.
that's ever sold. Yeah, $830 for this.
Damn good. Nice sale.
Yeah.
Wonder how like tough it is. How many are on the census? Be interesting.
I probably should have looked. I didn't even think to look.
Eros Comics, aka Fantagraphics, 1893. There are 3 issues of this, I believe. So there you go. Moving on. Sonic the Hedgehog, issue number 1 from IDW in 2018, specifically the Spencer's Gifts free comic book day issue. Wow, dude. I have never seen this.
I did not know Spencer's had anything as far as a comic book. And of all comics to have for Spencer's, a Sonic book.
Dude, you know what's funny about this, bro? This is synchronicity again. Just the other night, I was talking with Mark, and I told Mark, I said, dude, you got to figure out a way to get like a special Monsters ash can or a comic, a variant, to be put in Spencer's with your shirts. Like to show people, hey, this is a comic too. And you can only get this just like this. He should do something just like this, a special. It says Spencer's on it. And it's you buy a shirt, you get one free type deal. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah. Have they released that to more Spencers, or are they still limited to like those 12 or 15?
The first 4 or 5 shirts are limited to only those 15, but they're doing a second round of other shirts, and they're going to be nationwide. So, yeah. Just keeps, and people are starting to get their Kickstarters. So congratulations again to Mark for just continuing to, do such a great job with that IP and his career. It's a lot of fun to watch, and I know people are stoked at getting the Monster and the Wolf Kickstarters in the mail, including a shirt. So I haven't gotten mine yet. I need to go check my my mailbox. So
nice,
yeah. But this is CGC 9.8 for 300, man. I wonder how many they printed or how many are still out there.
That's a good question.
Yeah,
that is a good question.
Very cool.
Next time you talk to the IDW guy, you should ask him.
Yeah, totally. All right, here we go. Moving on. A classic. I would love to own one of these. Superman 204, the classic Jim Lee storyline and cover. That is just, the bookend to the second print of Hush, the first Hush issue, in a newsstand in a CGC 9.8 had a big sale.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted to like bring this. So it sold for $750 for a CGC 9.8. Now, when you look at the GPA on this, and it's not that I think you guys should be like always watching out on GPA, but this exact same book sold in June for $150. So that seems like a quite large increase. Now the 150 is probably too low.
Oh yeah.
So
Big
somebody
time.
probably, I mean, I guess it's possible that they stole it, for 150, and then just resold it for 750.
Mm-hmm.
It just, I don't know, when you see that big of a gap or that big of a jump for something that doesn't, I mean, yes, people want this, but it just was kind of odd that it would basically sell 5 times the amount that it did just a few months ago. It's a little odd.
It is. I wonder, what do Raws sell at? Do we know what Raws usually sell at?
Of the newsstand?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. That's a good question.
Yeah. Probably have to see what Raws go for and then see if it correlates with, the normal near mint raw to near mint 9.8 price jumps. So, That's a great question. Was the 150 sale advertising it as a newsstand?
That's a good question. So it's hard to even know because you can't look at the listing anymore because they only keep them on there for 3 months. So
Yeah.
so you can't even look at what the listing was. I guess you probably could.
Wayback
You might be
Machine
able
it.
to. Yeah, hold on. You may be able to see it. Let me see if I can see it real quick on Terapeak. What is this? Superman
204.
Because they won't have the actual Superman 204 CGC 9.8. Now they won't have the where you can like see what the listing is, but you probably can see. Let's see here. When did I say it sold in June?
Mm-hmm. Very underrated, Adam. This series. It's got really good Michael Turner covers for B covers as well. No, wait. Was the Turner covers on Action at this time? I can't remember. There was at this time it might have been right before or right after where Turner did Superman covers as well.
Okay, so yeah, so that is crazy. So all it listed as is on the listing is Superman number 204A CGC 9.8 2004, and then it's got a serial number. And then you click on the picture and it is the newsstand, but it's also not notated on the CGC label that it was a newsstand.
Oh, wow. So somebody scored.
Yeah, somebody hit the jackpot on that one. Okay. That makes sense.
Yep.
Way to make. Thank you for making me. Whoever said that, I can't remember who said that. But
shout out TK. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Next, another classic, Shirtless Bear Fighter, issue number 2. Scotty Young doing his thing. I love how Cover Price. Is it Cover Price or Scotty Young that did the little? It's got to be.
I think it's on the book. I think it's on the book.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's on the book.
The little blur out. I remember this series because Jesse James Comics did an exclusive for this. And it was such a crazy, weird series. They had so many good covers for this series. It was funny. But this is the 1 in 15 Scotty Young variant for issue number 2.
Yeah, CGC 9.6 sold for $540.
Wow.
Now this one is pretty hard to find, but man, for 9.6, $540. Whew.
Yeah, what does a 9.8 usually sell for?
I think the last 9.8 sold for $450.
Wow.
I think something like that.
The power of Scotty Young. There was a 9.8 signature series of X-Men Babies #1 that sold this last week as well, which is the very first Scotty Young Babies cover. And
have you ever noticed though on this drawing, not only his the blanked out unit, but his legs are a little phallic looking. Aren't they?
Yeah.
It looks like I'm looking at 3 of them is what it looks like.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Oh, and Adam, I will not put anything into Chat GPT. I will not use Chat GPT. So sorry.
Yet. You'll be forced to at some point.
No, my work is trying to make me use Copilot and I will not do it. I refuse.
That's funny. All right. Moving on. Next, we've got a classic Bruce Timm image. This is Calgary Fan Expo 2009, the Bruce Timm cover program, which tough book to find. You don't hear many sales about this. A lot of these Fan Expo programs have been selling. Somebody must have got a collection in of them because I know I I seen a couple of sales of the Fan Expo Canada stuff. And as a matter of fact, I believe that the FX magazine Adam Hughes cover was a Fan Expo Canada poster originally, but don't quote me on that. So pretty cool. I love con programs. I think that they're great and super underrated.
Yeah, this one looks like a hardcover. Like it looks like an old. It looks like an old like school book or something like that.
Yeah.
So I mean, if anybody has this, I would like to know if that's what it is, because that's what it looks like. But yeah, did you know? Or well, you didn't get a chance to watch, but yeah, one of Paul's books was the North Carolina Adam Hughes program that somebody got.
Unreal, dude.
Yeah.
Paul still has probably great book. He's always
and for anybody who might find it interesting, we are going to have Paul's got a bunch of boxes that he's collected over the last couple of years that he's never opened, has no idea what's in them, and so he wants to jump on one of Brian's shows to have an unboxing of these. So if you want to just join in
up for it, yeah, Saturday night, let's get him on, dude.
Yeah, I think it'd be real fun.
Those
and
are
then
my favorite.
And he said if because he doesn't know what they are, he's like, if people want to buy them right then, he goes, they'll probably get a really good deal if they want to just buy it. Because not. He goes, I don't even know what's in them.
That was twice I've had collections that I bought where people never opened their stuff. One time it was me and my buddy Kyle. We went to a guy was selling comics at a garage sale, and he was only selling his stuff. And I go, do you have any more? And he goes, yeah, this is just my stuff, but my wife has a bunch of stuff she's never even opened yet. I go, we'll take it. We'll buy it. So we bought it all. And I was opening mailers of stuff. And one of them was a Detective 880, that they bought new and just never opened. And, I was going through them and just pulling out all these Batman, during the New 52 era stuff. And then one time, Jesse bought a collection from a guy that was a military guy, and he would just buy stuff and never open them and put them in a storage unit. And he just got tired and he just sold the whole storage unit full of unopened mailed stuff. It was crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah. A lot of fun.
Oh, I also wanted to say the back cover of this is Frank Cho.
Yeah. That is cool. TK says, side note, bro, I sent you some pics on Insta of the Sveta Elvira book that he had signed by Elvira. It's at CGC now. Bro, you are so lucky because I've heard she has retired from doing signings. So you might have the only signed Sveta Harley Elvira books out there signed by Elvira. That's pretty cool.
That is awesome.
By the way, you guys, for those of you who
congrats to all you that got that anyway. I've not even seen that book. So
well, here's the thing about that. I have about five or six more to pack up, and I've got a tote full of already packed up stuff that's being dropped off at the post office tomorrow. So I think all of them will have been out, will have been shipped that time. So if you're waiting on yours, you should get your final ones. The final ones that I have left to ship are being shipped, and they will have all been shipped. And then I will have probably a couple left over that I promised to some people. So Stein, I'll be getting you some. I got some for Long Short and a couple other people. And then I am waiting till I ship all the ones out that have been purchased. And then if I have any extras that I can sell on my live sales, there'll be a couple available on live sales. So be on the lookout for my live sales. I'll have one Sunday and Monday. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, next. This is freaking a McClay book if I've ever seen one, bro.
I saw this and I was a little late on getting Brian the list this week, and this one sold tonight. So if I would have submitted this to him earlier, I wouldn't have seen this. So as soon as I saw this, I was like, wow, Brian's going to be so happy about this book.
Oh, that is awesome, bro. I gotta find one of these. Give Me a Break Comics, issue number 1 from Ruda Press in 1971. And dude, this is so freaking good right here. It's just a dude smoking a doobie, got a drink with him, a Boone's Farm drink too, which is even better. And totally, if he had a beard, it would look like me. You know what I mean? So that's a great book. And
that's hilarious.
Like, how many times does this one come for sale?
I don't know. I mean, I punched it into the Terapeak thing, and this literally was the only sale that showed up. So I have no idea if this thing's ever even been sold. I mean, it doesn't look like a book that people would be like, oh, let's go sell that on eBay. This looks like this would be hidden in like the underground box that some comic shops have that are like way off to the side, dusty, that nobody's allowed to look at.
Yeah.
Nobody's can look at.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome. So that's good shit. $140 raw. Cool book. If anybody's got one, let me know. All right, moving on. Now this was crazy. There was a lot of big sales for OA as of lately. 2 Frazetta paintings, I think. One broke a record, the John Carter one. They're getting ready to put a Conan one up for sale. That's going to just destroy. But this was a huge sale on Heritage. If you guys didn't see this, here you go. Norman Rockwell's So You Want to See the President, original art. It's a 4-page interiors by Norman Rockwell, and the OA sold at Heritage, all 4 pages. Look how good this looks.
I know, like when you actually just sit there and look at that, I mean, my gosh, look how amazing that art is.
And all the little like things up here, you know, waiting on the president, everybody sitting around, the press going to call. Just beautiful. How much did it sell for, Stein?
7.25 million.
Oh. Fantastic, dude. That needs to be in a museum. I wonder if a museum bought that. You know, I feel like that's the type of thing.
That's so much money, though. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Freaking beautiful, man. And
now some of those people that buy those things will loan them to museums to showcase. So I mean that is a possibility that happened. Yeah. I didn't have that many zeros either. That was as a big number.
Yeah. Shout out to Biggie Shack who's in the chat. All right, here we go. Let's get into the list. Starting off with our Golden Age honorable mention, a big sale from Tales of the Crypt, issue number 41, in a super high grade for this book, a CGC 9.4.
Yeah, and it was I think it's a Gaines file copy, which I mean, you would think that it would almost have to be, but great cover. I mean, I'm telling you, like some of these artists from back in the 40s and 50s, man, they were just so ahead of their time. They really were. And there was no AI, there was no digital, there's nothing. They just did this. That's just.
And comic art, especially, like, listen, I've heard this said before, and it's very true. the comic book is one of the truly American art forms, right? Sequential art storytelling, comic books is so American. Like it just, and they were breaking a certain type of ground. It wasn't like fine art style, like super great stuff, but it has its own like like stuff, like style to it that makes it so different than everything else. And I think that it needs to be looked upon as such a historical thing, especially the stuff from the golden age, the 30s and 40s, because they were in such a weird time period for things and how people looked at comic art and the Sodi trials and all that stuff, that I just feel like it needs to have even more of historical part of it. You know what I mean? And obviously it's getting love on the secondary market. I mean, look at the sale of this.
Yeah. This CGC 9.4 sold for $13,200. The same copy sold in 2022 for less than half. It was like $6.
Did we lose him? We might have just lost him. I don't know how much it sold for, but I'm sure it was quite a bit. So $13,200 for a CGC 9.4 sale on this. That's nuts. Let me see if I can kick Stein. I can't kick him, but we'll see if he comes back here in a second. Shout out to everybody hanging out in the chat. I see Dave's Collection says, have you all been watching Mark Spear's Kickstarter books moving on eBay? Oh, yeah, totally. In a major way. They are flying right now. So pretty crazy stuff. Let me see here. Shout out to Ed. He says, couldn't stay up, but thanks for the badass Stein pack. There we go. Another Stein pack winner, a happy Stein pack winner. So awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, let's continue on. Next, our regular honorable mention this week, a book that isn't even supposed to be hitting shelves yet, that is actually hitting stores as of right now. Exquisite Corpses, issue number 7, the Michael Walsh thank you variant. Continuing the 13 Killers cover stuff, and this is just super cool. I love every single one of these. I think these will probably be the ones that people really flock to in the future for this stuff. But also don't sleep, even though I'm a homer for our boy Clutch, don't sleep on those Pete Carroll variants that I think he still has up on his website, which is great stuff. Really great covers from Pete Carroll. And he's doing all 13 of the Killers, I believe. And this one is an excellent one. So be on the lookout for it. $25 to $30 on the secondary market for these already showing up at your stores. Exquisite Corpses number 7, the Michael Walsh. They can't even call them secret anymore. I think they are just 1 per store variants. So Sean says, have 1 through 6 of the thank you variants. See, I think that's probably the way to go on this. Usagi Girl says the Kickstarters are printed on some really high quality paper. They look absolutely beautiful. And that is because Mark is really thankful to all of his fans that support him. He had problems on those Kickstarter books being printed, and he basically said, nope, we're not going to send these out this way. And if we send it out, we're going to send them out as freebies, extras, because they are so tough to, the printing quality of them was so bad. So no worries, brother. Perfect timing. You got back just in time.
I was sitting there watching. I was watching on my phone, and I'm like, well, I'm still talking. And then I was like, oh, nope, I'm not.
Well, I explained that this isn't even supposed to hit in the shelves yet, but it's already selling. So Sounds like the one per stores had made it out early or something.
I guess that seems to be happening more frequently than it used to, doesn't it?
Yes, totally. Well, I think it's also the distribution problems. We're seeing the ramifications of Diamond bankruptcy more and more every day. You know, it's sad what the dominoes falling from the Diamond bankruptcy is really sad, because it's the reason why we're having I think these problems right here, where you know this and many other problems. Mark Spears talks pretty openly about, how they were limiting him on the amount of SKUs that he would have over at Lunar, which is a bummer because his fans love getting those extra covers. And, that was the whole reason for him to create the whole blind bag idea, which was super smart. But, more diamond bankruptcy fallout. So, all right. Let's get into the top 10. At number 10, Jim Rugg back on the list. This is Blood Squad 7, issue number 11. I couldn't even remember the first 10, but this is the Jim Rugg 1 in 10 variant that is very off-putting. Like really off-putting, dude.
Is it just me, or maybe this isn't well, maybe it is a dig. I don't know. This looks like he took a Liefeld, and I mean, is this what he did? He literally took a Liefeld, because his signature even looks like Liefeld.
Yeah, it does.
And just took off the skin of a Liefeld drawing. Is that what he did?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
God damn, like
this is off-putting. This is so off-putting, bro. So off-putting. It must be a young blood variant, one of the young blood variants. Gluteus booteus.
I mean, that's crazy, right? I mean, like, when you really start to think about it, it makes the Liefeld, whatever cover this was, it makes it seem even worse.
Yeah.
Like, it almost like, if you just kind of sit back, she almost looks like a what are the people that are the Minotaur?
Yes.
It almost looks like a half horse, half human.
Horse. Yeah, bro. Oh my God, dude. Look at it's so damn off-putting. I don't know how you can want this book, but people are paying good money for it.
Yeah, $20 plus on. I mean, okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
There you go. Maybe you can find perfect examples of this type of stance out on Kensington somewhere. So, moving on. Number 9 this week. Another one of those books that, seems to be pre-selling out there. Absolute Batman issue number 15, the Felix Leone variant. And listen, I've been very vocal about this. I'm going to give it a chance. But this Joker design is fucking wacky to me, bro.
It may be, but you got to admit, this cover is pretty crazy.
It is, yeah.
I mean, it is a crazy looking cover. And so this is so it's really weird. They're selling, these are being sold from Mexico. And there's only 1,000 copies, but and I'm not going to, because I don't promote stores. The place that is selling these, one, they're still available. Now, you do have to buy them from Mexico. So, there's going to be obviously some risk involved in that, but you can pay an extra $25 and he'll do a remark on there.
Oh, wow.
And so people are not only selling the unremarked copies for $80, the remarked copies are selling for like $135 of this. So yes, you can still get this, not at eBay prices. So if you do like this, yeah, it's out there.
We'll see if it has any staying power. That will be very interesting, for sure. So,
well, it's I don't really know exactly what the push is the last couple weeks, but man, these Absolute Batman books,
gnarly, bro.
almost it's crazy.
Yeah. Speaking of that, let's just get into number 8. Hold on. But before we get into the Absolute Batman talk, we got to talk about Flops, right? Because Flops is on fire as well. If you guys didn't get to see the interview we had with them the other night, it was so much fun. We did a 2-hour early. We went early, 2 hours early on Wednesday night, just so we could finally bring Flops on the show. I've been talking to Flops for probably 2 years now, trying to get him to come on the show, and it's just tough working around his schedule because he's in the UK. But he is such a cool dude, super nice, super like just really down to earth dude that I'm so happy for him getting the love that he's getting right now. And he is about to blow up in a major way, you guys, like in a big way. And here's his very first book, Rogues Gallery #1, from 2022. Shout out to Third Eye Comics, who found Flops out of nowhere. We asked him about this, and Steve at Third Eye reached out to him and got him to do a cover for this. You could buy this book for like $8 on their site forever, and not anymore because it's selling for how much, Stein?
150 to 180.
Dude, I sold probably 4 or 5 of these for like $30 on my Whatnot sales in the past 3 months. I am so bummed. I should have kept them, but I do have one left. Shout out to James Kreider, who posted his 9/8 of this, that when he starts throwing them up on the market, we're probably going to get $400 a pop. But super cool book right here. Shout out to Flops Comics. All right, back to the Absolute Batman talk. Absolute Batman #8 at #7. And like you said, Stein, there is a major push with Absolute Batman right now. And I just want to remind everybody, like we do on the show very often, there are a ton of these books out there. There are so many of these Absolute Batman books printed that there is no way that they hold the value that they do. But if you like them, get them. If you're really into this series, I was hanging out with shout out to Zatari, owner of Snick.com, great original art site, one of the really good guys in comics. I was hanging out with him at New York Comic Con, and that's what he was looking for. He was looking for the missing issues that he has been looking for the Absolute Batman run. And I think that there's a lot of people that are doing that right now because, one, of all the talk about the Absolute Batman annual, and 2, there's a lot of rumors that we're going to see an Absolute Batman animation series coming soon.
That's not surprising. My gosh, what every issue's gone to second, third prints. And there's covers all over the place. But these A covers are the ones that just definitely seem to be. They just all seem to be having staying power.
Yeah.
Adam, the artist on that Absolute 15 was Felix Leone.
Yep, Felix Leone.
This one, cover #8. This is Mr. Freeze. I guess first Absolute Mr. Freeze. I guess, I don't know.
Yep.
This is now a $25 book. Again, I probably kick myself for not just getting all of these and just keeping them. I've not bought any of these Absolute Batman. I haven't even read it yet.
Yeah, I haven't bought a single one. I'm with you.
But I feel like I need to.
I think that
there's too many people saying that is a great story.
It's good, dude. I'm not gonna say it's not good, and it's saved DC Comics in a major way, in my opinion, because they were really taking a shit, and it's caused DC to jump over Marvel, and Marvel is now taking a shit. But it's good. It's good. I'm not saying it's not bad. And I like Dragota's art style. A lot of people thought it was off-putting at first. But we'll see. We'll see if it lasts, and we'll see what happens with the whole universe. Is it going to be like the Ultimate Universe where they end it in, a year? Who knows? But
what is frozen on Batman here? Is that an axe, or is that
that's his axe?
Something else.
That's his axe. Yeah.
Okay. It's just weird. It's just weird placement. Okay.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So, but check it out. There's a ton of these printed. Just know that, a ton. So, and we'll get to that here a little bit later. At number 6, there it is, Absolute Batman Annual 2025 Annual, and this time not a Dragota cover. Daniel Warren Johnson did the first storyline in this. He wrote it and drew it. Very interesting. I suggest everybody go read it and figure out what their thought process is in it. I've been pretty vocal about how excited I was for this and how let down I was for this, but it's not for the reasons you think. I just think that Daniel Warren Johnson's storytelling in this, art-wise, was lacking, if that makes sense, and they really changed the status quo for how Batman handles things, but it's all how you look at it. I'm going to read it again in 2 or 3 months and see if I feel any different about it. But I like how they went and they did the annual thing where they gave the creative team, Scott Snyder and Dragota, a rest, let other creators come in and write stories in this universe, and that's cool. That is what annuals should be.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I loved the old annuals when I was, younger, back in the 90s and stuff like that. And, they had all those really cool, one-off stories that had absolutely nothing to do with anything that was going on in the annuals were just so different. Yeah, so I agree with you.
There was a couple really good things about this, art-wise and storytellings, but it could have been better. That being said, $25 to $30 still on the secondary market for this is pretty crazy.
And tons of sales on this.
Yeah. At number 5, Sozomaika back on the list. Witchblade number 16, The Virgin 1 in 25, and she had 2 covers out this week that were, holy cow, were they good. Did you see her Supergirl cover?
I did. This one's odd to me because it doesn't look like a Witchblade cover. It looks like a James Bond cover or something like that.
Yeah, totally.
Like if I just saw this, I wouldn't have been like, oh, that's definitely a Witchblade cover.
Yeah, and then this is, for those of you guys that hadn't seen it yet, this is the Sozomaika Supergirl cover. Just fantastic. Really good. Well, what is this one selling for? This is the 1 in 25, and I think they did a limited to 300 web store variant for this too.
Yeah, I think that one was foil. Is that a foil one?
I think so. Different cover, same just different, like it's a close-up, I think.
Okay. Yeah, this one's selling for $45. I think I probably prefer this whole body rather than a close-up.
I agree. I like it with the trade dress, though. I think it looks better with the trade dress. So, all right. Moving on to number 4 this week. A return to the list for Skinbreaker Treasury Edition. And I'm not surprised, David Finch in all of his, glory, as they would say, it is so well done. the way that he's been working on this in a like on bigger mediums. Not I think they're all like much bigger mediums, and then they shrink it down to this. So with the treasury size, it's like you can see it a little bit better in how he really painted and or really drew them, which is very cool. And the story so far is through 2 issues has been really, really like heart-wrenching. So I can't wait to see where this goes.
Yeah, this thing is now up to $70 to $80, and I wonder how many of you who bought the regular and bypassed the treasury are probably kicking yourselves for not buying the treasury.
Yeah. Was the treasury like double the price? I can't remember how much more it was.
Yeah, I feel like it was like 10 or 15 cover price, I think, is something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Kilted Corgi says treasury blind bags. Just saying. Yeah, that's a pain in the neck. Don't get me wrong. That's why I can't stand Distillery, even though they put out a quality product. Just no freaking bags for them. And Lewis says that $14.99 for it. So there we go.
It is weird. I mean, like, have you ever thought about that? Like, so comics back in the golden age were really big, and then they shrunk them down. Like, who decided that? And 2, why did the smaller ones stick to be the norm when the big ones, you can see the art more? Like, you would think that as we like to look at art, that we would want the bigger ones, but most people just avoid them like the plague. It's so weird. It's so
bags and boards, bro. Storage.
Strange.
We're so used to our comic boxes, our regular comic boxes, our regular bags and boards. We're creatures of habit, bro.
Yeah. Okay. So they did cut costs, but I mean, think about those Marvel books from like the early 2000s where they made them even shorter. They're smaller than a regular comic. Instead of being like 15 inches, they were like 14 inches or 13 and a half inches. So why did they switch down to those and then switch back? Like if it was because they obviously did that to cut paper costs. I mean, why did they switch back then?
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really noticed that much. I mean, because it just was a little bit short. I don't know. I mean, why did that go back to the regular size? Everybody just like completely accepts the comic book size now. Like it's sacrilegious to think of comics as any other size.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting, man. Again, bags and boards. I blame bags and boards. All right, moving on. Number 3 this week. V for Vendetta, issue number 1. Bro, I have been seeing this in the market data like crazy, and I got to tell you, how is this not on the list? Like hot list right now. This book should be flying off the shelves way more than the book you see on the screen. And for those of you guys that don't know, this book right here, let me go ahead and do this. There we go. Let's go. Boom. This book right here is the true first appearance of V for Vendetta. This is the UK Warrior Magazine #1 first appearance of V for Vendetta and first appearance of Miracle Man. This book should be flying, and the book that is the 1988 reprint by DC. Crazy. But that being said, the reason why this book is flying is because they just announced a new Watchmen style HBO series for this IP, which is super cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the fact that it literally just was 10 days ago. That
November, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it, but yes, that having a show announced. Yeah, this was, I mean, and you said it's on HBO. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
is that what it was announced
that's what
for?
they're working on. Yep, HBO.
So like, I thought HBO did a really good job with the Watchmen um, miniseries that they had. I mean, I know it was like the way that they used kind of the modern day, you know, climate that we have, I
Uh-huh.
guess is probably the best way to say,
Yeah.
that they were able to somehow integrate that into the Watchmen world. And obviously V for Vendetta clearly could fit into modern day. I just wonder if they're going to just go by the books, or if they're going to do kind of like the Watchmen series where they put a modern day spin on it, but it's still kind of like based in the past type thing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Well, it's funny because I sold a complete set of this on one of my recent Whatnot sales, um, like 2 days before they announced it. So, again,
It sounds like my timing.
yep, yep. So, great series. Be on the lookout for not only this but the Warrior series. And for those of you guys that don't know, Warrior magazine was where this was first printed, and all these are the reprints of those stories in Warrior magazine. So, all right. So 220 and CGC 9/8 and Raw. I imagine the sets are selling for probably $200 around that era, around that time. So. There we go. I heard your Fifi says you sold that book to me, Bryan. Thank you very much. You're welcome, brother. Appreciate you. So, all right, number 2 this week. Shout out to the GOAT, the true current ambassador of the one of the greatest American art forms, that is comic books, Mr. Rob Liefeld. And Youngblood issue number 1, the secret 1 per store variant, again showing up on shelves or on eBay a little early.
Yeah, and I don't believe that there is a Jim Rugg skinless version of this yet.
There is a great
Although
Mark Spears 1 in
think
100 though.
now that I think about it, like maybe everybody should be doing homages like that. Just start de-skinning characters or something like that. But this thing, I can't believe how many of these have sold already, and they are selling for like $50 to $60. Yeah, man, Liefeld's got his fans. I don't get it, but
I do. I 100% get it, bro. I think that the majority of us who are buying comics at this time period grew up in that. It's our nostalgia. It's our fun buttons, right? It is the dopamine hits that we need whenever we see those, artists from when we first got into comics. We just it brings out something in us. And the other thing is he is so good about being on social media, being in front of the camera. He needs to be in front of the camera more. There needs to be a reality series for Rob. And his podcasts are so good. His social media shorts are so good. He loves the art form so much. And I think that's important. I think that just as important, here's the way I explain it. Just as there are 20 other shows that do hot lists, you guys love to come to us for one, the material that we talk about, and two, I think that you enjoy us talking about it. You guys see us as, okay, I enjoy the people that are talking about it. And I think that's what it is with Rob. I think he comes off to comic fans as somebody that loves the art form, and we want to support Rob even to this day. So that's kind of how I look at it. I think that's very important. And he has his finger on the pulse. I mean, what other comic book greats other than Rob and Todd McFarlane said, hey, look at this Mark Spears guy doing this great stuff over here? Not very many of them. You know, there's still people that haven't caught on to the Mark Spears train. They caught on pretty damn early. So they have their finger on the pulse, and that's very important as well.
That's fair.
At number 1 this week, Absolute Batman issue number 1, selling for crazy amounts. Absolutely crazy amounts.
So many 9/8s have sold like in the last, just even the last 2 days. I mean, 9/8s are up to 260 now. And again, man, there are so many copies of this out there. This reminds me of when Batman New 52 came out, and and there was so many sales of that, and they were all, that was a super expensive book forever, until people were like, oh, hold on, everybody has a copy of this. Why do we keep buying this at these really high prices? But man,
shout out to Ronnie, who dropped a $4.99 super chat. He says, I miss the Stein packs. I suck. Love you guys. No, bro, we love you too.
you don't suck.
You don't suck, brother. We love you, brother. Great stuff. So, yeah, up to the 9th printing. That's crazy. So,
When do you think they'll stop?
When people stop buying them. I don't know what else to think, right? Because they got to be still selling. So maybe 15, 20. I mean, what is Transformers at? Transformers is up there, I think, like, right, 12, 13 on those printings. So as long as the story stays in the, on the tip of our tongues, like, and we're still talking about it, there's still going to be people that want to go back and get the first stuff and can't find the original printings type deal, For
a regular comic book issue, not a trade paperback, not a, like limited something or another. What is the most printings for a DC book? I mean, like, obviously Killing Joke's got tons of printings, but that's like that's a trade paperback. This is like a regular comic. Like, what is the most printings that DC's ever done for a regular comic?
That's a great
question.
Is this
it?
It's gotta be up there, bro. What else? Action Comics, maybe, but I don't know even at that point. I don't feel like there's a ton of reprintings of it. Maybe 10 reprintings of it. Man, that's a great question. This has got to be up there. So,
if any of you guys know, shoot a comment, because I'm super curious. I mean, ninth print is for DC is, I mean, obviously for some smaller publishers, they're just going to keep doing it because that's a big part of their business. But man, DC just doesn't really. Yeah, Justice League only had like 6.
Killing Joke was like 18 printings, I think, or 19 printings.
Yeah, but that again, I mean, so I'm not talking about like
prestige
like
format,
one shot. Yeah, one shots, trade paperbacks. Those are, those can be sold in bookstores and stuff that they just keep basically print. I mean, you can still find Killing Joke if you go to Barnes and Noble or something like that. So I mean, yes, they're just going to keep printing those. But for like a comic book itself, like a regular issue, regular size comic book, man, I just feel like this has got to be either at the top, or I would like to know what has been printed more by DC.
I think you might be. That's a great question. If anybody knows that's catching this on the replay, drop a comment below and let us know what you think has been printed more DC wise than this book. Probably not many out there that people can think of. So, well, there you go, you guys. That is the Hot 10 this week. Thanks for coming back and hanging with us for the week off hiatus. Been a great past couple weeks with the Stein packs. Shout out to our boy Paul W. We love you, brother, and we're sending prayers your way. As a matter of fact, you guys, let's do a little collective unconscious thing here. Let's send some major prayers to our boy Paul W. and our boy Kyle Stinson, who are both fighting very tough fights right now against cancer. Send as much love and prayers and positive healing thoughts you can their way. And
Absolutely.
we love you guys. We thank you so much for hanging out with us. And again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys tomorrow night, Modern Comic Mayhem, and right back here next week for the House of Stein Hot 10, just like every week, right here on this same bat time, same bat channel. Stein, what do you say, brother?
See ya.
All right, starting off with our Golden Age honorable mention, Tales from the Crypt. Issue number 41 had a CGC 9.4 sale of $13,200. Wow, what a great sale. Great book. Love these old school EC books. Our regular honorable mention this week, Exquisite Corpses, issue number 7, the Michael Walsh thank you variant, the one per stores, foils. Continuing, this book is not supposed to be out yet. It showed up in stores and thus showing up on secondary market sales. And this one is having sales of $25 to $30. At number 10, Blood Squad 7, issue number 11, the Jim Rugg 1 in 10. I believe Rob Liefeld homage Youngblood variant. Raw $20 sales. At number 9, Absolute Batman issue number 15, the Felix Leone variant. Also another book that hitting sales early, and do your research. You might be able to find copies out there for cheap. This one's selling for $80 raw on the secondary market. At number 8, shout out to our boy Flops Comics. This is his very first comic produced work. Rogues Gallery issue number 1, the Flops Comics variant from Third Eye, who was on the Flops train early. And this one is selling for a ton right now. Raw, $150 to $180. Shout out to our boy James Kreider, who I believe has like 1,000 9/8 of this. At number 7, Absolute Batman number 8. This is the Nick Dragotta cover A, first Mr. Freeze in the Absolute Batman universe. These are selling for $25 raw on the secondary market. At number 6, Absolute Batman Annual for 2025. This is the famous Daniel Warren Johnson cover and story in the first story. 3 stories here, giving the creative team of Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta some time off. This is still selling for $25 to $30 raw on the secondary market. At number 5, Witchblade number 16, the Souza Micah 1 in 25 Virgin variant. And it is beautiful, selling for $45 raw on the secondary market. Came out this week. At number 4, Skinbreaker, the Treasury Edition, issue number 1 is back on the list. Was selling at $50 to $60, now $70 to $80 raw on the secondary market. At number 3, V for Vendetta, issue number 1, the DC reprint series from 1988, originally showing up in Warrior magazine from the UK. Look for those Warrior number 1s. This in 9/8 are selling for $220 plus on news of the new series coming from HBO, I believe. At number 2, The GOAT, Youngblood number 1, the Rob Liefeld secret 1 per store thank you variant, selling for $50 to $60 on secondary markets. And he is who he is, and that is the GOAT of comics. At number 1, Absolute Batman issue number 1, the Dragotta cover A, is continuing to sell at ridiculous prices. CGC 9/8, $260 plus, $100 plus for raw copies. And there are a ton of these out there. Be patient. If you don't have one, you will find one. But if you got the money, you can go pick one up. CGC 9/8, $260 plus. That is the House of Stein Hot 10 for the week of November 14th, 2025. We will see you guys next week. Adios.